Well, thank you very much, Yulita, for having us out to the Nelson Memorial Library's garden.
Glad to have you here.
So, can you tell us how the garden came to be out here?
Well, before we did our expansion of the library, I had a sensory pollinator garden at the end of the old library. And of course, when the county decided they were going to pay to have the library expanded, I had to take my old garden out. And I asked the branch manager, after construction was done, would I be able to reinstall the garden? And she said, of course.
Fantastic. And so I understand you've kind of sheet mulched around here, and this is the first year of the plants in the ground?
Yes. Now, last fall, I installed all the foundation shrubs. And at that time, I just left the ground uncovered, got them all planted, put just a small top dressing of mulch over top of the shrubs, and left it so that I could finish planting in the spring. That's when I decided to put down the newspaper and cardboard to keep the weeds suppressed.
That's excellent. You have lots of really nice perennials as well. They're kind of smaller stature.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a small space, and I wanted to get the most bang for the buck, and
You've certainly done that.
put as many pollinator and sensory plants in as I possibly could fit in the space.
It's great. And you have a beautiful brick walkway. Can you tell us a little bit about this project?
This was part of our fundraising efforts because the county paid for the building, but we fundraised so that we could buy a new collection of books and new furnishings and a variety of things that we needed to add to the new space. And so part of our fundraising efforts was to put this memorial walkway into the garden. And we partnered with the company to engrave our bricks. And it's worked well. Our patrons have been able to buy a brick for a loved one, or just to put their favorite quote on a brick. And it's worked great in the space and adding a nice brick walkway to the garden.
It's a really great community effort. You can just see all the stories here. I mean, clearly it's been very popular.
Yes, and it also, is a good reason for patrons to just come by and walk through the garden and take a look at their brick and remember their loved one.
Yeah. Well, I see some lavender and some sensory plants over there.
Yes.
Why don't we go take a look?
Sure. Got lots of good things in here. These were very small when I planted them. They've done very well for our Virginia climate. They have stood up very well to the humidity. This variety is phenomenal. I trimmed them back.
Okay.
But I've had a few that have sent up some new shoots.
Nice. And you have some coreopsis in bloom right now. I see some joe-pye weed. There's some ironweed.
Yeah, the varieties that I selected, I wanted to get the more dwarf, compact, smaller plants because it is a small space. So I found some of the newer cultivars, new varieties to plug in here. The joe-pye weed especially, but it's still been a pollinator magnet. I mean, the bees are still all over it. The smaller ironweed up there, so yeah, there are lots of new varieties of more compact plants to put in a small space.
That's excellent. I love how you've packed in the diversity here. Always good to see for the pollinators. They're happy right now.
Yeah, they are. They've been all over the joe-pye weed this morning.
Yeah.
And the solidagos up there.
Nice.
So yeah.
And you've got some garden art around here. You've got some benches, and I see a wonderful bee condo off to the side.
Well, again, we made this garden part of a community thing. The community just really has been overwhelmingly helpful to our project. And one of our local Boy Scouts earned his Eagle Scout badge by making our benches and our bee condo up there.
Excellent.
Which added a great dynamic to the garden. When you look through the window from inside the library, you can get a clear view of the bee condo. So that's a nice added touch to the garden.
Oh, absolutely. And what is going on with these tomatoes? They're just going crazy.
I've been amazed by these tomatoes because I started them as a little 4-cell pack plant that I had neglected at home before I bought them over and planted them here. And I said, well, if they're going to stand a chance at all of surviving, I need to get them in the ground. And I planted them, and they have just performed just amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, this is a no spray garden. I haven't treated anything with any chemicals, so our patrons are free to just walk through and eat from the vine because I haven't treated or sprayed them at all. They have been very healthy. I haven't found bugs on them or anything, so they've been great.
Yeah, it makes maybe try to encourage the patrons to come out and pick a
Ex-
few more here. They are just loaded.
Yes, it seems like the more you pick, the more they grow. But I do come out and have a few for lunch every day.
There you go. Good on you. So you've got a beautiful garden here. What are kind of the plans for expansion of what you're doing out here? And will this change over time and grow?
Yes, we do want to continue the garden around to the other side of the building where we'll have a sitting area. We want to make a space for outside story time. So we want to make that equally, attractive and plant some more interesting plants on that side as well.
I love that you're using the garden for programming. I think it's just vital to get the public interested,
Yes.
and especially to get them outside and engaged.
Yeah,
and
get the kids outside too and let them see how Mother Nature kind of works.
That's right.
Yeah.
How can folks learn more and get involved in your garden project out here?
Well, we have our Grow Nelson Library campaign, fundraiser campaign that's still active. And they can also visit our website, jmrl.org, for more information on what's going on here at this branch and all of our other branches. We have some of our patrons that stop by and ask if they can help volunteer in the garden. And I always say yes, because, you can always use an extra set of hands in the garden.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Yulita. It's wonderful out here. What a great project.
Thank you.
You should be applauded, and keep up the great work.
Thank you. We're enjoying the garden.